Hello guys, what's going on? It's me, Shorey, and I'm bringing you another vlog. Basically, I'm getting held up in the whole kind of gaming situation at the moment. I've had a lot on. As people who have seen my YouTube and seen my Twitter and that recently, I lost my dad about 3 weeks ago. So I've been sorting that out with my sisters, and I've got a cold, as you can hear. I'm snuffy, I'm shit, it's just there. But yeah, I just kind of want to talk to you guys about how 2014 hasn't been the best year for me in general, just everything really. So we'll go back to the start of the year. So 2014, I was in my first flat with my girlfriend. It was alright, it was good. Found out my dad had got cancer again, came back after 18 months, so we were preparing for him going through the whole chemotherapy and making sure he can get better and stuff like that. February, I moved out and my granddad passed away, so yeah, I wasn't overly close to my granddad. I knew him very well. He was originally from the town that I live in now, so that in itself is quite good. But to be fair, I don't really know how to put it, how things have come along since then, and it's just, it was strange because we've got my family, the family that are closest to us. My mum and dad's side, we're all very close. We all come together when the going gets tough. So obviously, my dad going through chemotherapy, he'd already gone into his second kind of block out of 6 blocks. So we never went down to that because I had to kind of look after him, and the family understood, which was great, and I kind of really thank them for that. But yeah, end of February, me and Sarah, my girlfriend, moved into the flat that I'm in now, and we kind of just started just relaxing, and I was close to my dad, which I needed to be, to help him out for the things that he needed, and for things like that it was quite a lot better. It was a better personal and life involved judgment. I'm only 23, well I was 23 back in June, and knowing these things are happening or doing these things in certain times of your life kind of make things, tries to make you stronger. Sorry if you hear that, that's just me. It just tries to make you stronger. Now, April, May, there are months. End of May I went on holiday to Bulgaria, which was all good. Half decent holiday, nice relaxing. Oh, excuse me, it's 8 o'clock at night. Nice relaxed holiday, getting drunk, good time. And then June came round, I came back for, I think it was 2 weeks, went to work, and me and Sarah celebrated 3 years together on the 18th of June. I was working late that night, and I get a phone call from work. My dad had just gone up that day as well. My dad went up on the Tuesday, just to get some routine scans, and that after finishing his chemo in March, he got scans, and he'd been complaining of a sore shoulder and a sore leg, so they gave him a bone scan, and on the 18th of June my dad was told he was terminally ill. Now that took everything away from me. I was like, what the fuck, what's going to happen, how do I feel? It's boom, head, and yeah, kind of, I don't know how to put it. When you find out, I'll give you a little bit of history, background history on me and my dad. Me and my dad have been that close. My dad took care of me when my mum passed away at 3. And my dad's really the only person that I've ever known personally and close-wise that to hear this news it's pretty much the feeling of the way I'm going to ask you this question, and it's kind of the only way I can explain it, is that one person you love, alright, that one person you love the most, whether it be your mum, your dad, your nan, your granny, your auntie, your sister, your girlfriend, your wife, whoever's watching this, whatever, take that one person you love and imagine them nowhere. You can't run to them, you can't confide in them, you can't do anything. Or if you know you're going to lose them, you know you're not going to have them in about 6 months' time, how do you cope with that? So, when we found out about this, my dad got radiotherapy in his shoulder, his left shoulder, to try and take down some of the cancer that was in it. He had bone MST, bone marrow MST, as well as his lymphatic cancer hadn't really gone away. Sorry. And me and my sister Louise found it very difficult. I broke down in tears at work, understandably, and I just didn't know. I didn't believe it. I didn't believe that something that crappy of a disease can take someone away who was that important to me, who was that life-changing, who was that hero. It's like I've got Spider-Man in the back there, who's a superhero. That was my dad. So after that, I've got roughly a week between that and my birthday. So my birthday was a week later, and he was still in hospital for that week because he was getting his radiotherapy. He had to get a week long that. So the Saturday we asked if he can come out, which they let him. They goes, okay, happy days, you can go out, enjoy, have a drink, do what you want. So my dad always said that if he was told he was terminal, he would give up smoke. He would start smoking again, and he did, rightly so. Who gives a shit? You've got a prolonged. You're on borrowed time. You're loaned. The time's loaned to you. Once it's out, and that's it. So do what you want. So my dad went to the casino. He had an absolute ball. He ate what he liked. He ate the biggest. He ate loads, which is not unusual for my dad. But he ate a lot, and he had a good time. And he had a smile on his face. He was sore, but he had a smile on his face. And they got home, and things didn't start quickly. It kind of progressed a lot faster than what I thought, but it went slower at the start, and he was able to do bits and bobs. He would go upstairs, go back down. He was getting help when he needed it, but basically what I'm going to come to is in August I changed round my holidays so that I can go on holiday down to England with my dad, because I knew come about October or November time it was going to get really tough. It was going to get really nitty and gritty, and I did not want to be away from anywhere at that time. And so we went down, and just before that his leg really started being weak, and we weren't too sure why. We were like, oh, that's strange. But we had always thought he had a niggle on his back about 3 weeks after we found out. And we thought maybe the cancer spread there. So when we went down there, and he was very sore and he couldn't really move. He needed help. I needed a lot of help. Poor bugger needed so much help. For the fact that I'm glad that I went down there, because my sister would never have done it by herself. Just not at all. And to see about something like that, it's very strange. And what I wanted to do was trade my life with him. He doesn't deserve to die like that. He deserves to die peacefully of an old age, happy, doing what he wants. If I could have, I would have done it. I would have took everything he had and given it to me, and I would have happily given my life up for him. He didn't deserve to go. But we went down there and he had a good time. And the Saturday before we came back, he basically had his own wake. We all went there, and there was loads of family and friends who came to see him, and it was a great night. It was a great day. We had a few drinks and had a good laugh. Everyone was joking around, and I've got plenty of photos and plenty of memories from it. But when on the way back up, my dad collapsed twice trying to get in the car because his leg was that weak, and it kind of rang home that time might be short, but we don't know how long. So on the Monday, he wanted Macmillan Nurse up to come see him, and he was okay. He was quite his normal self. He was just a bit twitchy, a bit sore still, and about his leg, and she kind of mentioned that the cancer might have got hold of his nervous system, and that hit me hard. That hit me really hard. That took it. That I really do not have much longer left with my dad, because I know once anything hits your nervous system, you're fucked. So we kind of just took it from there, and then on the Wednesday, had a blood test on the Tuesday. Sorry. Right. He had a blood test on the Tuesday, and we found out his hemoglobin count was low. Sorry. Found out his hemoglobin count was low, which is his white blood cells within his blood, and he had to go in for a blood transfusion. So we thought that was going to be on the Wednesday, but I found out it was on the Thursday. So he went in on the Thursday, and come Thursday afternoon, he wasn't himself. He was very different. He was he was saying things that in his head were sounding fine, but when they were spoken to you, they didn't make sense because you didn't know what he was saying. And when he was dozing off, he must have been having dreams and chatting to someone about something. And when he woke up and spoke to you, you don't know what he's speaking about, and he got frustrated. So he came home the Thursday night. Friday morning he was okay. No, Thursday night he was alright. Friday morning he was not himself at all. It was like a different being had possessed him. And that's the only way I could put it. It was very demented style, kind of the way he was acting. It was all strange and quite elaborate, and quite eccentric. So on Friday he got a dose of something that calmed him down, and he was calm for the whole day. And then he woke up at night and he wanted me to dress him and go shopping. He was going to have food, he was going to have a shower, and he was going to have a fag, and then he was going to get dressed and go shopping in Dundee. And then we're going home, we were going to the pub. All at 8 o'clock at night. But that's my dad. He's one of them people that would make jokes out of nothing. And then Saturday we could not manage him. My sister come up at that night, and we had to make the most hardest decision ever. And I swear to God, if anyone else has to make this decision, I feel for you. Making the decision whether or not it's time to admit your father or your mother or any family member into hospital because that's the best place for them. What do you do? As much as doing it, it's not something you want to do. So we did it. I went up in the ambulance with him, and seeing him like that killed me. I cried, I bawled in the ambulance because I was scared. Because I knew it was happening. I knew that he had not long left after all the doctors saying he might not last Sunday, he might not last Monday. He was in there, he got told he had a really high temperature, he was highly toxic. So what they said was they're going to do him on antibiotics, try and see if that takes a hold and give him some more blood. So Sunday morning I got a phone call saying the infection is still high. He's still losing blood. We're going to just make him comfortable. They can't do anything about it. And when I knew that was happening, I'd already taken the notion that I can't be there just in case, because I do not want to see my dad slip. I always thought I'd be strong and be the last person to be there or whatever else, but I physically could not do it. So every day I was up there Sunday and I was up there Monday. Sunday we were up there till about 11 o'clock, we got home. I was back up there Monday morning at 7. And we were told that just before I think it must be about, they're starting to go because they start to get cold. But my dad was really hot. He was always quite hot. His hands were quite clammy as well. But he knew what was happening the whole time. He knew you were there. He knew exactly what was happening. The fact that on Monday he kept fidgeting and kept trying to wriggle away, and all you have to do is, Dad, calm down, and you pat his shoulder and he'll be fine. But Monday I left at 5. We all left early, and it was like the last people he really wanted to be with. He must have heard Uncle John was coming up, and Mum must have tried to tell him, hold out for Uncle John. Uncle John really wants to see you. Uncle John got there at about 10 to 12 that night. My sister's round by his bedside, Uncle John there as well, and at 12:30 my dad passed away. And hearing that phone call just after, it's strange. It was melancholy. It didn't feel like it was happening. It felt surreal. It felt, this hasn't happened. This is not something that I imagined or envisaged I would be doing at 23, would be seeing my dad dead. But I did. I didn't see him until he was at the chapel of rest in the funeral directors the Friday before his funeral, so that was the Friday after. And it hit me, it's happened. And the following Monday, and on the following Monday we went and had his funeral, and he had an amazing turnout, and I really could not believe the amount of people who came. Me and my cousin spoke, and my cousin spoke about a poem, recited a poem, and it was called The Dash, and it's by Linda Ellis, who wrote it in 1996, and I'm going to recite it for you now, and it kind of brings a lot of things and ties a lot together, because at my granddad's funeral, my Uncle John said the meaning of the dash. So, the poem, The Dash. I read of a man who stood to speak at a funeral for a friend. He referred to the dates on the tombstone from the beginning to the end. He noted the first came the date of the birth and spoke the following dates with tears. But he said what mattered most of all was the dash between those years. For that dash represents all the time that they spent alive on earth, and now only those who love them know what that little line is worth. For it matters not how much we own, the cars, the house, the cash. What matters is how we live and love, and how we spend our dash. So think about this long and hard, and are there things you'd like to change? For you never know how much time is left that can still be rearranged. If we could just slow down enough to consider what's true and real, and always try to understand the way other people feel, and be less quick to anger and show appreciation more, and love the people in our lives like we've never loved before. If we treat each other with respect, and more often with a smile, remembering that the special dash might only last a while. So when your eulogy is being read, with your life actions to rehash, would you be proud of the thing to say about how you spent your dash? reading that over again makes you think that life actually isn't as long as you think it is. Life can get taken away from you at any point. I could wake up tomorrow dead. So that in mind kind of tells you that you grab life by the cojones and you do what you like. You want to go to America, go to America. You want to travel the world, travel the world. You want to be the biggest star on YouTube, you put your effort into it. You want the best job in the world, you put your effort into it. No time to hold back now. Finger out, get on with it. I'm going to spend the rest of this year enjoying myself, having a good time, doing what I like, and just making sure that even though I've had down moments in this year, that I've got happy times to remember as well. But I'll be looking forward to the start of next year, because next year's a new year, and it's a year that I can basically start a new slate. And guys, that's going to be it for me. I will see you again soon. If you like these vlogs, please give me a like. Any comments or questions, put them down below, and please subscribe. And guys, see you next time.